My name is Daytwan. I'm the operations support technician. Like I mentioned earlier, it's basically a fancy way of saying office manager. So for instance, this guest complains that the portion of tuna they received were minuscule for the price. And the chicken and the salad was mediocre. I got everything all printed out, laid out here. As you can see, it's a lot of paperwork. Good morning, everyone. It is about 7:10 a.m. December 9th, and today I'm going to take you through the day of my life working at the Cheesecake Factory. My job position is the operations support technician. I get into more and explain in depth as the time comes within the next couple hours or so. But I wanted to do a day of my life. Some of the content I've seen from specifically TikTok is mostly from servers. And then on YouTube, I've seen that there's some bakers that have done day in the life. But I'm going to give you a different perspective. Being an operations support technician, it's more of an administrative position that's still in the restaurant itself, but it's more like a office manager, more of like an administrative assistant. It could be like a manager, assistant. It could go by many different terms, many different ways. But I'm just going to take you through a day in my life in that certain aspect. And it's just a different aspect of the restaurant and responsibilities it entails. So let's get into the day.
Just 30 miles from Detroit, from Detroit. Just 30 miles. Just 30 miles. Just 30 miles from Detroit, from Detroit. Just 30 miles, the city sleeps. It takes each night as the city sleeps. Detroit.
All right, it is now almost 8:30. I've been selling it for about 20 odd minutes or so. So yeah, my name is Daytwan. I'm the operations support technician. Like I mentioned earlier, it's basically a fancy way of saying office manager. It's like manager, assistant. I've been at the Cheesecake Factory about 7.5 years now. Yeah, 7.5 years now. I started off the summer before my sophomore year of college. So it's been about 7.5 years now, but I've only been in this job position for about a year and a half now. I started off as a busser and then became doing curbside, sliders, pushes to goes, and cashiering. And then quickly after starting cashiering is when I became the OST. So basically just to go over like some of what my responsibilities are. I deal with a lot of back end stuff with the restaurant. So there's a lot of financial reporting, a lot of reports, a lot of analyzing different reports and data, cross-referencing things, making sure the way things are supposed to be, making sure that managers doing what they're supposed to do, making sure that staff members are doing what they're supposed to do, especially with individuals that handle cashiers that handle cash drawers, bartenders that has cash drawers, servers are giving away money, they're receiving money that they're supposed to, stuff like that. And also involve some data entry, so any data that we collect from the restaurant itself and those reports, I have to input them, as well as a bunch of miscellaneous other small tasks that collectively add up to my job position. So it's a lot of diverse things, a lot of people, a lot of behind the scenes, a lot of paperwork, a lot of financials, a lot of individual aspects to the job position. So I'll be taking you through the course of my day of analyzing some of these reports, printing out a lot of these reports, some of the back end stuff that I do on a day-to-day and a weekly basis. So let's hop into it. So one of the first things I come in, as you can see, I'm currently in front of my computer right now. One of the first things I can do is check my email. So obviously today is Monday that I'm recording this. So obviously for the back end, I'm behind on days. Technically the last day that I worked in this job position was on Friday. I did work this past Saturday night. I still do cashier, close the restaurant on Saturday nights because it's one of the busiest nights of the weekend. No one else wants to cashier, so I'll pick up the fork on there and do cashier. So I was here on Saturday, but turning this job position, I'm still behind on and my emails and stuff like that from Friday. So I checked all my emails, see that I got reports, some of the duties that our corporate higher up supervisors have tasked me to do that what I have to do on a weekly or Monday basis, or I might catch up behind, whether it's like a staffing issue, career issue, any news things I might need to know about in the upcoming weeks, because it is the holiday season, so it's one of the busiest parts of the year for us. So there's a lot of things to catch up from the weekend. After checking my emails, one of the next things I do is check any guest complaints or guest letters I just sent to the restaurant. So some guests might have issues, whether it's like a food issue or like accommodation issue or service issue they might have experience at the restaurant. And then guest complaints, managers or myself personally have to individually give out a gift card to them. So depending on what the issue was, it could be $15, it could be $30. I believe max is $50. So for instance, this guest complains that the portion of tuna they received were minuscule for the price. And the chicken salad was mediocre. And then the manager suggested a $15 gift card, so that's what I'm gonna provide to them. I'm gonna draft up like a guest letter, and then they will receive probably an email gift card with a $15 amount. So of course, over the weekend, it could be a lot of complaints that come over the weekend or the days before that come out to the weekend and then come out on Monday. Fortunately for me, I only have one so far, but when the manager gets here, that could obviously increase to a couple more. And then after that, we do have like a company purchasing card. Of course, I'm not going to show you here because that's very confidential. It's a credit card. So we do have a purchasing card that we might need to buy any miscellaneous things, like we are missing white rice to go to ShopRite, get a white rice. Want to get pizza for the staff members for a good job, or pizza weekend, something like that, get a pizza. So after using the P card, I had to get the receipt, put that and scan the receipt, and digitally input that on the software that we use on the platform that we use. So this is like some of the opening tasks, like email any guest complaints, get them a gift card, and then coding any P card purchases with the company credit card that we have. And then after that, what I do next is I go into our safe and then start counting money. And what I'm doing with the safe is counting the safe from the previous night. So every night, every morning, it's supposed to be every mid as well, but every morning and night is supposed to be a safe count to make sure it lines up. So I'm counting the safe to make sure that whoever manager closed and counted the safe last night matches up to what I counted this morning. So the previous manager counted 6155, $6,155. Let's see if their math is mathing.
I just want to quickly mention that the reason why I'm still able to work as a cashier at the restaurant is for the simple fact that I'm in this weird dichotomy where I'm not technically a staff member of the restaurant itself. I'm a staff member of the Cheesecake Factory, the company. So it's this weird dichotomy in which I am not officially a staff member, but I can be a staff member at the same time, so I can still cashier. But at the same time, even though I'm an office manager, I got some powers, but I don't got all the powers. This is this weird dichotomy. It confused me even to this day and confused a lot of my staff members. They're like, oh, can you do this? Like, I do not have that power. That power is above my pay grade. So I do have some kind of limitations with my power, but I can do some things, but some things I can't do it all.
$6,155. I got the same count. Their math was mathing. I did pull some money aside because what I'm planning on do is even exchange it for coins because we are running low on some coins. So I'm gonna put this away to be sent to a bank in which they're gonna send us coins in return. So that's why it's called even exchanging. Give it the same amount, give it the same amount of money back, but just in a different way, whether it's bills or coins or whatever you ask for. I am also going to order a little bit more money. That's why one of the tasks is I'm going to balance the safe to be a certain amount, make sure we have a lot of small bills, a few big bills, a lot of coins. So I am going to order a little bit of money. We don't really need too much. It's just a couple of like probably ones and tens I'm probably going to order just to make the safe a little bit more balanced, as well as obviously it's the holiday season, so we need more money. It's like little nuances in which some restaurants need to order money, some restaurants don't have to order money. Fortunately for me, my restaurant requires the money constantly being ordered almost on a weekly basis, essentially. So I'm going to order a little bit of money. It doesn't need to be too much like it has from the last few weeks, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. But I'm going to just order a little bit of money just to balance things out, just to get some smaller bills into the safe. So I have some papers here that I fill out, which I got to use to do the even exchange, and another paper that I have, another handout I have here, just to lay things out, in which I'm going to call our bank services to order the additional money.
This call will be monitored and recorded, and your voice may be used for verification. Do not hang up until you receive a confirmation number, so that you can be assured that your input was received. Thank you for calling your cash services center.
Now that I share that information with my supervisors, and then we move on to the next thing. It's going to be daily balancing. All right, so what I'm doing right now is I print out all of my side of paperwork for daily balancing. So managers did all of the last 3 days of the weekend are here. So like I mentioned earlier, Every time I come into work, I'm technically a day behind. So obviously being the weekend, today being Monday, I'm technically 3 days behind. Now I was already here on Saturday, so I was able to print out those reports for the Friday. So I was able to print out those paperwork, but now I got to print out Saturday and Sunday. So you can imagine the amount of paperwork it's going to be. All right, so I got everything all printed out, laid out here. As you can see, it's a lot of paperwork. This was going to take up most of my time. I would say probably the next hour and a half to 2 hours we're going to be focusing on this. All of this is like the financials of the back end of the restaurant, so just making sure everything checks out. I got to check mark a lot of different things, make sure all the staff members got clocked in properly, make sure all the money is where it's supposed to be, is gone where it's supposed to go, and if not, I got to find out where it went or should have went, and then report my findings to either my managers or corporate higher if it gets to that point. Hopefully it doesn't need to, but that's what daily balancing is. It takes up most of my time on most days, and obviously being 3 different days, as once again I'm recovering from the weekend, it's a lot to catch up on to make sure everything checks out fine. So this is what's going to take up most of my time, and then after that, move on to the next task for the day. As you can see, I got a lot going on right now. But in case you're wondering what I do in the meantime, I actually watch podcasts. I'm right now watching the Waveform podcast. Also listen to music. So any albums that come out from this past week or so, I listen to music. In the meantime, I'm doing all this mountain of paperwork I got here. All right, back to it. You know how I say I'm trained to be on curbside doing packing to go orders and as a cashier? Well, spent part of the past hour or so packing to go orders. It's just been so busy on curbside and to go orders. So I've spent the past hour doing it. Which sets me back. So it's just past 12:30 here, and I barely finished my first day of daily balancing. Still got Saturday and Sunday to do. Fantastic. It comes with the job. Alright, I got a bunch of invoices right here because we got to pay our vendors. So some of these invoices are paying for products and for food. So obviously it's a restaurant, so we're paying for products and food, cheesecakes, Cheesecake Factory, produce, meats, a little bit of everything from the invoices that I input onto like a payment platform. And then a little bit else, we got some like products for like dishware and spoons and stuff like that. So part of my job after the daily balance typically do is do invoice reconciliation. So we just pay for everything that comes through the restaurant. There are like other ways of paying for things. Those called work orders, like plumbing, stuff like that. Any machinery that breaks down. I don't handle that. The managers handle that, and then they go through a payment system themselves. But for like individual products, goods, some services like that, I input it in myself, so that's part of my job. So I typically do that after daily balancing. So daily balancing obviously is now almost 2 p.m. I probably would have been done about like 1 or 12:30 or 1 or so if it wasn't for me helping pack to go orders and stuff like that. So next thing will be invoices, which depending on how many invoices I gotta do, it could be a lot. It can take a while. It could take me like 20-30 minutes. It could take me 10 minutes. It depends on the day. Obviously it's the weekend, so I got a decent amount from the weekend that I gotta input. And after that, we go from there. After this pretty much concludes the day. There are some other small tasks I might get done and I'll show you, but for the most part, daily balance is a big consumption for my days. And now we're doing invoices, but after that, we carry on. All right, finished inputting all the invoices. Now I have to do some miscellaneous things. One of them being this refund request. Amongst the chaos of me packing to-go orders, we got a call from the guest stating that they were overcharged when they were trying to buy a gift card. It's an accidental mistake from the cashier. The guest wanted a $15 gift card, but the cashier put in a $50 gift card. That's a mistake right there, so I'm giving a refund of the difference. Also got this giant box here from Staples. had an order from this past Friday, so I ordered like office supplies, pens for like the server, so they can use pens for the guests, so they can write on the checks and sign the checks and stuff, and like paper and stuff like that. So I do order like office supplies for the restaurant itself. And if the managers need anything specific, like a calendar or a notebook or something like that, so definitely order those as well. And then yeah, this is pretty much the part of the day in which I do any miscellaneous tasks. I might get done, like putting this refund request. Probably put in some food for myself because I am starving. All I had was that tiny little breakfast that I had around like 9:30, 10 a.m. this morning. And then that pretty much wraps up the day. So thank you all for watching my day of life as an OST Operation Support Technician. Obviously, this is a different perspective you might normally see from TikTok and other YouTubers, like people working in the bakery, people on TikTok you mostly see servers. So this is a different perspective, being an administrative assistant, the more behind the scenes perspective of the aspect of the restaurant, and less of the front house chaos you might see. So even though I was a part of the chaos for a little bit there for like an hour, so I didn't get any footage of that. But this is definitely more behind the scenes, definitely a different perspective of things. So definitely comment down below if you enjoyed it. If you want to see more videos like this, more vlogs of like more behind the scenes of Cheesecake Factory, more aspects, like definitely probably show some things. I can't tell you everything. I can give into specifics because there's some things that's confidential. There's specific numbers and stuff that's confidential. I couldn't really show you a lot of things, but definitely a different perspective. Definitely comment below if you enjoyed it. So until the next video, see you then. Peace.